But you gon' have to go beyond to gain conception and grip on your thoughts. Sometimes to follow your dreams, you follow your heart. So chime into this broadcast, make sure you doing your part. Making major moves, I guess some of you wouldn't have thought that being loyal to yourself is still an ultimate cost. You take a loss to be a boss, but in the end you will win. But if you push through that first wall, now your journey begins beyond perception. No doubted questions. Yeah.
Lomax The Brand, Beyond Perception, and I'm here with actor Larry Rhem.
Yes, what is happening?
What's cracking?
Not much, man. Chilling.
Out here Saturday. We're enjoying this way. You know, this weather. It's a bit. We've been getting rain. Like we've literally been getting rain.
Yeah.
All month.
You know what? I don't mind the rain though. I actually like the rain. I actually love thunderstorms.
So you like it wet?
I like it wet.
Okay.
I love it wet.
That's what he said.
No other way to have it.
All right. So tell me, you're from Germany. Or you were born in Germany?
I was born in Germany. Yeah, both my parents were military. My mom and my dad were in the army. So I was born in Longstuhl, Germany, which is like, don't have me lying, I want to say it's like south of Frankfurt, like an hour and a half south of Frankfurt. Do I remember much of it? Nah, because I was like really,
okay.
I was like infant status when I came back to the States.
So I was going to ask you that, like how long have you been in the States? But you've
Yeah. So do I speak German? Scheiße nein.
Dang, I was about to say it's something about them foreigns. I'm like, man, it's something about them foreigns. You be like, ooh, speak some of that to me.
Yeah, I'm not quite Boris Kojo status.
Oh, you know it's Pig Latin or something like that?
Yeah, or just Ebonics.
Ebonics, okay.
You know, that's, you know, I know a little Spanish, if that, you know.
No poquito.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, no. Okay, so you are an actor, and right now you're currently acting on The Quad.
Yes.
You have acted on Being Mary Jane.
Yeah, Being Mary Jane.
So which one started first?
I did Being Mary Jane first. I was fortunate enough to work on the first episode after the movie. Like they did like a 2-hour movie. Then the first episode after that, I actually got to work there on that one, and I actually worked with Gabrielle Union for like a scene.
I was about to say, how is that? Because the show is Beyond Perception, and the perception sometimes of her is that she can be like, you know, it's like that's Gabrielle Union. So how is she?
You know what? Honestly, from the time when I got on set and I was working on set, before I even got to do my scene with her, she was already in the middle of doing some other stuff, and she's very focused. But then when I got to do my part with her, she's very cool. She's super cool, down to earth. In between takes, she's cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's like our director, Salim Akil, had to tell us like, stop laughing on my set. All right, y'all chill out, and we have to straighten it up. But for the little moments that I had with her, man, it was fun. She made it really fun for that short time that I was able to work with her.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I was at Privé, I want to say maybe 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. Shout out to Shaka Zulu.
Shaka.
But
yeah,
we were he was there, and you know, Gabrielle Union is really good friends with Shaka and Chris, Ludacris.
Yeah.
And they were in the section, and so he was like, you know, you come over, and I went over to their section, not even knowing who was in the section.
Word.
And she was there. And I seen her, and I was like, oh, shit, that's Gabrielle Union. But, you know, I'm kind of being like, okay, you know, I'm cool. And she kept looking at me, and then she was like, you're pretty. And I was like, yeah. I promise you, I wanted to, if I was a dude, I would have been, like, rock solid. Because I was like, oh, my God. Yeah. Like, how you tell me I'm pretty, and you're Gabrielle Union.
Well,
I'm like, she's...
That's humility, man. I mean, just because, you know, you love what you're doing, and I guess you're quote-unquote a celebrity, doesn't mean you can't acknowledge another individual that you feel is attractive, or you think is cool, or you think is just another cool person. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate people that are like that.
Yeah, like very humble.
Very humble. Super humble, man. Like, I got no bad vibes from Gabby, man. She was super cool on set.
Gabby's that shit.
She made it real easy for me. So yeah.
All right. So now you're working on The Quad.
Yeah.
The Quad, if my memory serves me correctly, it got a little bit of flack because it kind of focuses on hazing a little bit, or they had some kind of scene in there where they felt like Anika Noni Rose, whom you work with, so we're gonna talk about how she is. But it seemed as though that hazing scene kind of sparked a little bit of that whole controversy where
it did. I mean, that sparked some stuff as well as like some other things.
Let's talk about it.
Well, we actually had there was like an open letter that was written from the president of Hampton University. He had some concerns about the show. He felt like that, and I'm thinking from the letter, it seemed as if he only seen the pilot episode.
Okay.
And mind you, when you're doing a pilot episode and you want a show to get picked up, you're trying to put in as much information and stuff that is going to make it interesting enough for viewers to say, hey, I want to continue seeing this. And so that the network can say, okay, we want to greenlight it, pick it up, and order some episodes.
That's 30 seconds, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, it's your time. You either need to put it all out there. You can't save nothing. You kind of just got to put it out there. So, there was, partying. It was a college campus, but it was partying. You have issues with the president of the university, living, messing with a student, and all this other stuff. And the hazing, and I guess his concern was there's more to historically black colleges than the drama.
And the negative.
And it was like, it's not a whole lot of stuff on education and all this stuff. It's like, dude, we had like an hour and 30 some odd minutes for this pilot.
Right.
And we did have a scene with a classroom, you know what I mean? And we had that, but people look over that and they always focus on
the negative,
the drama. At the end of the day, it is a dramatic series, so you have to have the drama. He felt like it was going to probably hurt the enrollment for historically black colleges and all this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, at the end of the day, it is television, and if you give it a chance to grow and breathe, you will see that there are so many other elements that we talk about that happen. Right. Hazing happens.
Yes,
you know
it does.
What I mean?
There's just a case where the young man, he died drinking too much, right?
Yeah.
So
and it's like, and I went to college. I went to Clark Atlanta University all day long.
Hey,
CAU. And I've heard stories. I mean, I'm not in the fraternity, but I've heard a lot of stories. I have friends that were in frats that talk about, it gets real. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, we want to talk about real life. I feel like a lot of times us as the black community, a lot of times we feel like we only want to be seen in a positive light only. I'd rather see real life.
Well, unfortunately, I kind of got to disagree with you on that because unfortunately, right now, we're only seen in a negative light. And that's something else that I wanted to talk to you about. And I hope I'm not jumping too far off a topic. But reality shows. Right now, reality shows are actually making more actors than actually actors. And I wanted to ask you how you feel about that because right now, they kind of...
In my opinion, reality TV isn't reality. It's not real. I feel like what they do, in my opinion, I feel like they take these individuals and they know that individual 1 and individual 2 really don't like each other. They can't stand each other. So we're going to set up a situation where they have to interact,
right? Which
is going to cause drama. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is slightly scripted. I mean, I don't even think reality TV is real.
It's not.
It's not.
It went from the real world.
That was the first joint.
Yeah, I think that was the first
joint. And they went from that to now you got, Love and Hip Hop, you got Basketball Wives, and and I'm just like, dogs, it does put us in a very negative light, So
I feel like that's the only thing that we're drawn to, and I hate to say it, unfortunately, as a culture, as a race, we tend to kind of focus on those type of things. Yeah. Like it's hard for a show like this, or it's hard for anything that's kind of positive to get traction because we want to see.
You want to see the ratchetness.
You want to catch me outside.
Yeah, but see,
you want to.
But on realness, I feel like the only reason that we quote unquote want to see this is because that's all we're getting green light to do. You know what I'm saying?
But we have to support more positive projects.
If the powers that be, the studios and stuff like that, if they constantly see that we're going to support that type of television, they're going to keep giving us that type of television. If we give them something different, if we say, no, I'm tired of seeing this, I don't want to see this anymore, I want to see something more uplifting. I want to see real stories. I want to see development, like, seeing us and doing progress or in progress. If we support that and not support the ratchet, then the ratchet is going to weigh itself out anyway. But being that we feel like this is the only options that we have, we're going to go to because we feel like, oh, well, that's all I got to watch. I guess I will watch it. I'm going to support it because it's us. But, I feel like it's the powers that be, they kind of play. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's a puppet game.
Right.
I'm gonna only give you this and make you feel like this is your only choice.
Right.
You know, so you know, it's all about support. That's why when we get a show, because we do have a lot of shows that are out that I love, that I enjoy watching. Shots Fired, I felt like was a really dope show. Unfortunately, it
doesn't stay around long enough.
You know, right? It got canceled after the first season.
But that's why I said we have to support each other.
Of course,
enough.
Absolutely.
Like if we can watch Power, and if we can go and watch Empire, these shows like this, and we have to. But again, that's music, drug, sex.
Yeah.
I mean, Power is driven off of a dope dealer.
Yeah.
Empire's driven off. I mean, so we don't have anything that's kind of giving us that substance of positivity. Yeah. And when we do, we don't support it.
We don't, man. We don't. Like, I love, like, growing up. It's crazy because growing up, you know, I guess I'm about to age myself a little bit, but you know, you had different shows like, you know, you had like Good Times, and I wasn't around. I was still a kid when Good Times was around, but you got Good Times. You got you had the Cosby Show. You know, you had you know, Sanford and Son. You had these different shows. The shows that I gravitated to normally were the Cosby shows. I really enjoy watching A Different World. You know, I actually like the positive stuff. Fresh Prince was one of my favorite shows. You know.
So speaking of which, the Fresh Prince. Everybody talks about this whole being a gentleman makes you corny, and now how like you can never do a Fresh Prince right now and him not that character not get clowned for being sweet or corny or lame.
You know,
So again, we're putting this element of where being cool, being successful, being positive is not like grabbing your dick. Pulling your pants up, calling the girl a bitch.
You're absolutely right, man. Me growing up, you know, being a cool kid, being smart and being cool weren't really synonymous to each other. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't had no edge on you, you know, then the girls ain't like you. Right. Or if you were smart, you kind of kept it under wraps a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like. So I guess that resonates to television as well. When you do see like a Fresh Prince, you see a Carlton Banks, and you're like, I don't want no Carlton Banks type dude. But Carlton Banks may be that dude that is like the CEO of a company. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you're younger, I feel like with people, when you're younger, you want the fun, the crazy stuff, and you feel like just because this person is intelligent, you know, and is cultured or whatever the case, you feel like he's not as fun. Right. When that is so far from the truth. I
think a lot of times just people need a mix. Like
be
nice to me, but you know, yoke me up every now and then. I'm playing.
Who's to say Carlton Banks ain't gonna yoke you up? Right. You know what I'm saying? You give him a chance. Give him a chance. You know he ain't gonna do it in public because he don't want a case. Right. He knows what that leads to.
He don't want his bow tie to get messed up.
You know, exactly.
It's all
exactly.
Good.
You don't need that in life.
Right. Yeah. So with that being said, everything that's going on, you're an actor.
Yes.
Black young actor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How do you feel about like the Philando Castro's, some of the cases that are going on right now? Do you feel like you're treading lightly when it comes to being out, leaving the set, being pulled over, some of the things right now that you have to worry about?
I was always that person. I mean, because I've been pulled over plenty of times, you know.
What kind of car you drive?
We ain't gonna talk. Look, you know what? I'm not even gonna be modest. Like, my car is very humbling. You know,
got a Honda?
Nah, I got a Jeep. I got a Jeep, man. I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Woo, backseat of my Jeep.
Yeah,
Let's sing
I got
that
a Jeep
episode.
Grand Cherokee, man. Right now.
You been to the drive-thru yet?
Yes.
In your Jeep?
Yes. Yeah, I've had some good times in the Jeep.
We're gonna talk about that later.
But yeah, man. Like I've had, you know, I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what the question was. I didn't lost it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Being out and about.
Are the windows tinted?
They are tinted. They are tinted. You know, and I've like I said, I've been stopped like quite a few times in my car. You know, but I've always in my mind, I'm not a confrontational person, and I know bullshit when I see it. When I see it about to happen, like it happened one time when I was in Miami, and a situation happened where it was a simple incident, and cops came right at me and were very disrespectful, cussing me out without even trying to understand what happened.
Right.
It's like they were trying to get a rise out of me. So I go out knowing that you never know what type of law officer you're going to come in contact with. You may have that one. I've had black and white officers that are real cool, real down to earth, was like, you know what, it's all good. This is just what happened, whatever. And I've had some assholes, black and white. So I try when I go out and cops come in and I get pulled over, I comply. If I have questions, I do have questions. I'm not saying be passive aggressive, be passive and let them run over you. If you have a question for an officer, ask your questions. If you feel like what's happening is unjust, get his name, get his information. Go about it the right way versus sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we get so heated because we know it's bullshit and you want to call him out on the bullshit. There's a way to call him out without, getting him the feel as if he's justified for doing wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I try to go out with that mindset, and at the end of the day, nothing is worth me losing my life over. And I feel really bad for Philando Castile because he was complying. Right. He was doing what he was asked to do from jump. And the cop he was all the way out of line. And I feel like, you get some cops, and I also feel like, and I was crazy because I was thinking about this today. I feel like most cops, being that, you don't have a whole lot of room, or you don't have a lot of people that are signing up to be police officers there, so they don't have as many officers as they need. Right. So I think they pass through a lot of people that shouldn't be passed through. I feel like there needs to be a lot more psychological evaluation with these officers, because you have police officers that might have been that lame kid in school, or never had friends, or power tripping, right? So they don't know how to, or they were bullied or anything. So now they got this badge, and it's like, okay, for everybody that's ever bullied me, I got something for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might just remind him of somebody who might have took his girlfriend or something, and now it's a problem. You in trouble. Yeah. So I feel like there needs to be a lot more psychological evaluation, and possibly put them in situations. I don't know what their process is, but put them in situations real life situations where they're evaluated. Maybe have volunteers in the community that can volunteer as, I don't know, getting in some type of situation with an officer, and maybe they're video cameraed or something like that, and just to see how that officer handles the situation.
I think for me, I had suggested, shout out to Vince Velasquez.
He
was he's the officer. He's on the first 48. He just retired. But I suggested to him about actually having these officers go into these communities and not just patrol them, but be a part of the communities. Because if you're not a part of the community and you're just pulling people over, then you don't know that that's Jimmy. You don't know that that's John. You just have a perception of what you think the average black man in this neighborhood is like, instead of actually knowing who these people in this communities are. And actually, I was saying that needs to be a part of that beat. If that's the beat that you work, then that needs to be a part of your actual job.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Because it makes no sense to have an officer that lives in Sandy Springs and he only knows Sandy Springs, but you're working in East Point. You know nothing about that community. Nothing about that community, nothing about the area. All you do is you come in, you clock in, you do your shift, you go home. Like, yeah, there should be maybe some mandatory community service with the officers where they interact with the youth, the people in the area. Like, I think that'd be cool. Now, that would be cool. It will also be cool if they get paid more. Because I feel like police officers, teachers, firemen,
public servants.
Public servants, they don't get paid much. Yeah. And when you're not getting paid much, you tend to care less about your job. Yep. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna do that shit. I'm not doing nothing extra because you ain't paying me extra. You want me to do all this extra work, put my life on the line, and you only giving me $35,000 a year?
I make more than I ain't putting y'all in my business, but when I make more than a police officer, then it's like, you wonder why they have so much aggression. It's like, damn, like, I'm working these long hours, I'm doing this, I'm putting my life on the line, but I'm not even getting paid. Yeah. And you wonder why cops are like, getting you for like. We're not justifying this.
We're not justifying it. No, it's not justified. It's wrong is wrong at the end of the day. Not justifying. But you wonder why they take alternative routes within their job that make them do, scandalous stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, it's still wrong, and you shouldn't do it. If honestly, if you're not being a police officer to serve and protect and to help your community and help the community out, then I feel like you're in the wrong business. If you're just there for a check, and I feel like that with any occupation, if you're just doing it because you just need a check, then you don't need to be doing it because you're going to burn out and you're not going to do it to your best ability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay. So we've been really, really serious.
Word.
Look,
serious.
Your live is lighting up. Hey, y'all.
Isn't that? What's up, everybody?
You got your red cup. We got our red cups. So.
Never mind.
Can I get in your business real quick?
Let's talk.
Are you single?
He
was like, well, I got a situationship.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna be 100 real with you. No, I'm not.
You're not single.
I'm not single. I've had, there's a lovely lady that I've been with off and on. We've been going through some trials and tribulations, and now we're at the point now where things are getting, a lot clearer, a lot better. Our communication is awesome, which is one of the issues that we were having earlier on. Yeah. And we're working some stuff out.
That's relationships, though.
Yeah.
I promise you. I personally feel like anything that you have is going to be work. Yeah. It's not just going to be something that just comes out.
Right. Exactly. And that's what happened. Like in the beginning, like before her, I was single for 9 years. I was just.
What she did? Tell her. Give me some. Give me some.
Yeah, I was just tips. Chilling. I was chilling. Like I had a couple situations that almost got there, but
situations.
They just,
I don't ever want to be called the situation. I promise
you. Some relationships that just didn't go all the way as far as full on relationship. Some of it's because it just didn't work out. Some of it's because I fucked up.
Right.
I'm not afraid to say I make mistakes, and with her, when we got together, we clicked right away. But in the beginning phases of it, I just felt like things were moving really fast in a short period of time. And there were a lot of things that I had, when you're single for so long, you're used to being you.
So was you scared, or was it that you felt
it wasn't that I was scared. I just felt like we wanted the same things, but she just wanted sooner than I did.
That's women. Like,
yeah,
we
and
see you, we like a spider monkey. We like all along you like, mans.
You're right. And that,
we had sex with you, mans.
Right.
You want to know why I'm sitting at your door eating popcorn? Because we had sex, man.
Right. And, and the sex was probably really, really good,
Well, on that note, listen, I have a song that it's my favorite song right now, right? Mm-hmm. So I heard these lyrics, and because this is 6 while we're musically influenced,
right.
I want to play this real quick. Tell me if you know who this artist is, and then you tell me what you think about the lyrics.
All right.
Okay?
Okay. Oh yeah. Keep it real. I know you wanna see. I know you wanna be in my BEB, grinding slowly. Yeah, I know this joint. I just wanna fuck. Hey girl, you know the deal. I gotta keep it real. I know you wanna see. Hey. In my BED, grinding slowly. Yeah.
All right. So,
yeah, I know that song.
So, tell me about. Okay, so Jacquees pretty much was like, listen, I don't want nothing serious. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I like you. You sexy. I just want to fuck.
Yeah.
So I always have this thing where women, we say we want a man that's honest.
Yep.
And then when a man gives you honesty and says all he wants,
right? I know where you're going. Yep.
Get
you one of them hoes. Get you one of them hoes. I'm like, I don't do that. But then when he lied to you, you just one of them lying ass. I'm like,
well, pick your battles, man.
Pick your battles, yo. Like, you want honest, and when he give you honest, you gotta respect it. Like, you know what? I would much rather somebody be 100% honest with me than lie to me just to get what they want. And then when they got what they want, they bounce. Now I'm thinking one thing and I'm getting something totally different, and now my mind is fucked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I kind of pride myself on my honesty. I'm quick to be like, you know, hey, when it comes down to it, this is what it is. I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for this. And if you're not cool with it, we could still be cool.
Right.
But if you down with it, all right then. You know, and normally this is before the condom gets on. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know, so
that make me dry up like the Sahara Desert.
yeah, it will.
I be like,
but it's like, you know, but it's before, like, once I see us going in that direction, once we're going in that avenue,
yeah,
you start just kind of having those little conversations.
Yeah.
Like, you know, kind of, you have to kind of see where the other person's mind is. Like, where's your head at right now? Like, on some real. You know, I'm not about to sit here and say, baby, I can do this for you. I can do that for you. I'm about to have this. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on this little trip. You know, I'm not going to do all that, man. I'm going to tell you.
Trips
like,
are nice, though.
They are.
But that's not for a situationship.
Nah, man. Nah. It's like, I do not have, I feel like I can honestly say I don't have one girl out there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Facebook Live.
Somebody call him out on
those
that
know me. I don't think I've dealt with one girl who I've been intimate with in my life that can come back and say Larry ain't shit. He was, you know, he lied to me.
Yeah.
He wasn't honest with me. I don't think there's one girl that can tell me I was never honest with them. You know what I'm saying?
That's admirable, but I'm quite sure there's a whole lot of hearts that are probably broken now that you're reached the level of success that you have reached thus far,
hey, man,
and still to climb. So tell me any other projects that you're working on or that you've auditioned for, if I can get some little pipe and tea.
I've been auditioning off and on for different projects. Some stuff I had to turn down. Even in the audition aspect of it, I had to turn it down.
Why?
And well, there was a particular I'm not going to say what project it is, but there was a project that asked me to come in and audition for a character. I actually really loved the character. I thought it was dope. And when I got to the audition, the casting director, my homie George Pierre, love you to death like a brother. My homie, he was like, yo, I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, this character will later on be gay on the show. You know? And I was just like, he was like, are you comfortable with that or no? I was like, I can't even do it.
Really?
I can't do it. Yeah, because
it's acting.
That's what everyone says.
That's your craft, right?
That's what everyone says. But you have to be. That's something that I'm not comfortable with, and you don't want to go on set. You don't want to agree to something, and then when you get on set, they say, "All right, well, you know, the scripts change day to day, moment to moment. They change." So I might go on set one day, and they might be like, "All right, you and your lover are having a conversation at a coffee shop." But when we get on set, they were like, okay, you know what? Scratch that. We're not going to be in a coffee shop. Y'all just got through doing what y'all were doing. Y'all in the bedroom together. You know what I'm saying? And when you're on set, I've already agreed to this, so I can't be an issue. Right. I can't be like, nah, I ain't going to do this or whatever, because now I'm costing the studio production money for being on set. So I'd rather decline because I already know that I'm not comfortable. I'm in my craft. I'm not at that point yet. If I were to ever play a homosexual role, you know, it would be an artistic choice. It would be because, you know, I really love this story. I really love this character. I love the message behind it. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But for me to just say, hey, we got a character, he gonna be gay.
They said Don Cheadle was like that. Like, Don Cheadle doesn't do, like, there's just... But you gotta have, no matter what you do, you gotta have your limits, morals, and
you know, you gotta have that point where you just be like, you know what, I'm willing to do this and this, but I'm not willing to do this. You gotta have that, because if you're constantly compromising, you'll always be compromising.
And somebody will be ready to push that compromise. Right. Well, if he agreed to do this, will he do this?
Exactly. They'll continue to push that envelope. You know what I'm saying? And with me personally, I'm not knocking anybody who does those. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're at a different place in your craft than I am, you know, and I commend you for that. Right. I'm just not at that place where I feel comfortable playing a homosexual piece.
Now, what roles have you auditioned for that you're maybe looking to get a call back, or that we may be able to find you?
Well, actually, I'm doing some writing right now. Okay. And I'm doing some writing for some stuff for a few projects that I'm doing myself. Create your own lane, And
Is that a .com? Is that just or that's just a
you know,
plug?
that's just a plug. Yo,
Okay.
hey, create your own lane, your own opportunities, you know. But I've auditioned for there's like a new show that's gonna be shot in Detroit, I think. I want to say it's called. There's a movie called Detroit coming out, starring my homeboy Peyton Alex Smith. Hey man, he plays my roommate on the quad. So make sure y'all check that out. If you want to book me, if you want to check me out on my social media, I am on Instagram. I am Remy 2.1. That's RHEMY 2.1. On Twitter, I am Remy1, RHEMY, the number 1. And if you want to book me for anything, you can get in contact with Patty Gill, PATTIGILL, with Gill Hayes Talent Agency right here in Atlanta. I think, Patty Gill. You can just go on, Gill Hayes Talent Agency.com, and you can book me from there. Pretty much. Pretty straight, cut and dry.
That's what I like. Straight to it.
Straight to it.
Before we leave,
yes.
Beyond perception. So perception is always in the eyes of the interpreter, how people interpret things, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to clear up? Any misconceptions, any misperceptions that people may have of Larry Rhem?
You know what? Any misconceptions? Put it like this. I'm a nice guy. I can't deny that. I'm a nice guy. Cool, down to earth, can be silly. But don't take my kindness for weakness.
So pretty much what he's saying is don't get him fucked up.
Don't get me fucked up, because I will, if I have to say something, I will say something. And yes, I'm kind. I'm a cool dude, and I'm a nice guy, but I'm very blunt and direct too when I need to be. You know what I'm saying? I can be
like
very
a Sour
blunt.
Patch Kid.
Yeah, I can be very blunt. Look, this is what it. Look, I've had people tell me like, "Dawg, you're too honest. Like, couldn't you have said it another way?" No.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, okay. I don't know nothing about them.
We're awesome.
I'm a Cancer.
Awesome.
So,
Hey, you say you're Cancer?
yes.
Y'all are emotional. Yep, y'all are emotional.
Well.
Yep. Sometimes you show it, sometimes you don't, but you're emotional.
Oh, I show mine.
Yeah.
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 I
See.
definitely show mine.
See.
It's like The Exorcist.
I can see. Just don't spin your head around and be spitting green shit.
I spit some shit. It might not be green, but trust and believe.
Yeah.
She is real.
Hey man, look, it's all good.
Larry, thank you for coming, being a part of my show. I appreciate it. I want to see
I had a
you
good time, Lomax.
4 years from now, and I'll be like, yes, he was one of the ones that came on my show, seen my vision, and was humble enough to grace me with your presence before you blow up. And so I really appreciate it.
Nah, this was fun. I really had a good time. You have a really good platform. I
Thank
appreciate your platform. And whenever you want me to come out, I'm down. So it's
I'm
all
holding
good.
him to that. Yeah.
Hold me to it. You know, you got me on tape. So
Yeah,
we're good.
we all, yeah. You all up
see,
on
I'm
there.
on. See, they can't even. You know what you said. You gotta honor it. So I gotta honor it
Beyond Perception, Larry Rhem, The Quad.
all day.
Hey, what it is, what you wanna know? I done ripped about 100 shows. You'll be coming back to me, and you'll be coming back to me. I always worry about the mother hoes, and you'll be on me when the money throws. Hey, they be looking out for Queen. Hey, they be looking out for Queen. Bitch bad.